When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the roads you are trudging all seems uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't quit.
I am having a very interesting book in my hand.
As the name speaks, it is very much a journey of so many women across the globe. The particular thing that I wanted to convey through this story, dare to continue. We need to be having a thought of converting the challenge into an opportunity. Women lack is an awareness about their abilities and capabilities.
What makes you different?
Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. But what really matters is that even when you succeed or even when you fail, you continue making effort.
How you handle your husband, how you handle your in-laws.
Yes, it's a challenge for life. With their support, I was able to take it forward.
How you handle your family life, your work.
Sometimes you don't tend to have a family life. One cannot compromise because it is about delivery, it is about accuracy, it is about timeliness.
Request all the males, please look at hand and women has to work together. Asma believes that it's the courage to continue that really counts.
People who stopped me, they actually give me the courage.
I feel that some people are like a spring. When you press them, they come up extremely hard. I believe that there is joy in the freedom.
A person, if he or she is able to reach that stage and enjoy and live in that particular moment, is where the true joy begins. Person, how they want to see themselves in this world and how they are contributing and adding value to the society.
How to handle this?
Regression is basically the way forward. So this is a part of the process. You regress, but then you bounce back and you are going forward. Stress can be positive and stress can be negative. The stress of an ambition to achieve an aim is positive. So it depends on us what we want to focus on.
How Asma look her in the near future?
While remaining in finance, I would like to aspire to become a CEO someday. This is our responsibility. If I have learned something nice, I should pass it on, I should share, and I should become some kind of an inspiration for others who are trying to figure out their way in the dark. Miraculously, I found people who actually helped me. I want to become somebody like them and give back to the society by contributing similar thoughts and values and actions.
Girls like Asma are the true leaders and they are very inspiring.
It's the courage to continue that counts. Keep moving, never stop, keep dreaming and keep achieving your dreams.
Today I am having a very interesting book in my hand which I want to introduce you with. The title is She Dares, and this is the dare of women across the globe. These attractive, inspiring and motivating women has really shared their own feelings, experiences about life. Life which can be simple, which can be complex and sometimes very difficult, especially for women. So I feel honored that one of the co-writer is right next to me.
Thank you, Dr. Musa.
Asma Jan Muhammad. She was born in Karachi, Pakistan, in a family where there is no man except the dad, and it was a society which does not give you much of the opportunities if you are a woman. So accessing the school, university and going to an office and to be a chartered accountant is merely a dream of every woman, which is very hard to achieve. But she finally made it possible, and gradually, slowly, she managed to qualify as a chartered accountant, and she traveled to Dubai, and now she is one of the most prominent figures as a chartered accountant in Dubai, UAE. Now, it's very interesting. Her life story is full of struggle, challenges, and of course, how she convert these challenges into opportunities. This will be very interesting to discuss with her today.
Thank you, Dr. Musa, for giving me this opportunity to talk about this wonderful experience that I had of co-authoring this book, which is named She Dares. As the name speaks, it is very much a journey of so many women across the globe who dared to continue, who dared to give them courage, who dared to take their ambitions forward, and so much more. So much is there in the book, and I was fortunate to be a contributor with my story in it. Thank you very much once again.
Oh, it's a lovely pleasure to have you today, and I'm going to ask several questions that will enlighten the audience about the experience and what makes you, and what is your present, past, and the future, and a lot of our questions I'm going to ask. So stay tuned with me. The first question of the day is how you dare the world.
This is an interesting word, to dare. Now, we all human beings, we dare a lot in our lives, in our everyday lives. In the particular thing that I wanted to convey through this story to the rest of the world, and particularly to women, is dare to continue. Dare to continue in whatever situation the person is. No matter what the challenge is, we need to be having a thought of converting the challenge into an opportunity, a weakness into a strength, and that is what takes us forward. So that is the core message of my story in this book.
That's an amazing message, and it's really, really inspiring. When I was reading this book, each and every word and every sentence is really, really inspiring, and I will suggest everyone to read this book to know more about how to convert your challenges into the opportunities. So Asma, with this, what are your focus nowadays? What you feel that what a woman lacks, and how a woman can convert their dreams into reality?
So basically what normally women lack is an awareness about their abilities and capabilities, that they have the ability to do something, to achieve, to dream, to achieve their dreams, and to inspire others. This is one awareness which we really lack. So belief in oneself is something that needs to be with every woman, that whatever she aspires, she can really do wonders if she continues and struggles.
So Asma, I always meet a lot of women. They are doing a really good job, and it's always a question to ask that what makes you different with the other of your peers who are doing the similar things.
The punchline of my story is basically based on a quotation from Winston Churchill. It says, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal, it's the courage to continue that counts." So success once achieved, it finishes there and then. A failure, if there is a failure, you have so many learnings, and you take those learnings forward. But what really matters is that even when you succeed or even when you fail, you continue making efforts in whatever direction you are aspiring to see yourself in. So I think that's one differentiation that I create right from my childhood until now. I had been challenging the status quo. I had been challenging the norms of family first, to society to some extent, and even in my current life, there are challenges on a daily basis. I do succeed in, I do fail also, but I always opt to continue. So that is the message which I try to give in this book.
That's an amazing message, and I come across a lot of women who comes from Pakistan. They have a lot of issues. They are struggling to deal with brothers, their husbands, and most of them, they are forced to sit home after the marriage, just want to breed the kids, and that's a big excuse. The life is just the kitchen, and the kids and there's no much opportunities to grow in terms of your professional career and your entrepreneurship. So I'm always keen to ask this question from a successful lady like you, that how you handle your husband, how you handle your in-laws, and how you handle the other societal pressures, because this can be very useful to share with the audience out listening to you.
Belonging to a society where normally men are given preferences and women are not given preferences in terms of investing for education, investing for having a full-time career while having a family, yes, it's a challenge for life. I would say I met a lot of people who were not in favor of what I wanted to do, but I also was blessed to have a lot of other sincere people around who helped me through and through, who believed in me, who encouraged me, and who, with their support, I was able to take it forward.
So Asma, you are with me, and I want to gain an opportunity to understand that how you handle your family life, your work life, because as a chartered accountants, we know that the workload is immense. Working is long hours, sometimes we have to work on weekends, and we have deadlines, auditors are coming, and we have to go for some funding, so there are business plans, there are feasibilities, and there is lot pressure on you as a head of finance. So how you balance this is really amazing, and I want you to share this experience.
Particularly in the field of finance, this is one profession in which it is a real challenge that, sometimes you don't tend to have a family life at all. And it is completely work. There are timelines, there are pressure. Accuracy and timeliness, there are two things in finance that one cannot compromise because it is about delivery, it is about accuracy, it is about timeliness. So there are times when definitely, I am not able to balance the family while working, and there are times when I have to be at home and I cannot be present at work. But I have been in this profession for about 20 years. There were times up and down. There were times also when I was feeling probably I may not continue further if I have to give my time completely to the family. It is not achievable without the support of your spouse, definitely. It is not achievable if your in-laws and the family in which you are living in do not understand the importance of your aspiration, that there is a dream, there is something that you want to which inspires you, and you want to continue, and you are contributing, and it is actually creating some value. So your work should be able to convince your family, your relatives around, and once they see it, they definitely understand, and they I would not say they compromise, they do come and contribute and support. So I think that's where one person creates a difference in changing people's mind who are around.
Yeah, so it's really interesting, like as I see my friends who are male, so they have a very typical approach towards their wives. What they expect that the wife, their role is to make money and feed the home, and while the wife role is only to cook and serve the guests and handle the kids. To an extent, they are not willing to share the responsibility with a nanny or a housemaid, and they are not willing to allow these women to work. So I would request all the males, please look into this. Is not the right way to handle the international women who lives in UAE or across the globe. This is a different culture where a man and woman has to work together, and they have to share the responsibilities. It's no more that culture exists which was 100 years before. So you need to be more adaptive and more innovative. So with this, I'm going to ask a very, very thoughtful question which I saw in her book. Asma believes that it's the courage to continue that really counts. So I want to say that how she got this courage, and what does it mean that the courage that counts. So Asma, can you explain me this concept?
This is a really interesting question, because the question itself is having its answer. There are many people who ask me this question, and normally their assumption is there is, some source of courage or energy or inspiration that I seek, and that is where, the whole thing flows. I would say people who stop me, they actually give me the courage. So it's the other way around. I think this is what is called resilience. So if something is challenged, I really feel like doing it rather than stopping myself. So with me, it's the other way around.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I feel that some people are like a spring. When you press them, they come up extremely high. So maybe you are one of them, that people who want to press and stop you, and you become an equal and opposite reaction for that. Asma believes that there is joy in the freedom. So what does it mean? How we can get a joy in the freedom?
Before I go to explain the joy of freedom, I would like to say a few words. So in an early phase in life, we are too ambitious. We become ambitious about something. We want to achieve something in life. We want to reach somewhere. We associate our success in attainment of certain goals or certain things. Then there comes a stage in life where we actually achieve them, but we want more. And we are pursuing and going and moving forward and just running in some direction. Then until we reach a point where we start believing in present. The present, which is actually built on the past, on all the past successes, failures, learnings. They all become part of us. And we see ourselves in a present state. We still aspire for future, but we start enjoying the present. We become self-sufficient. Okay? We are not dependent on anyone. We can make decisions about ourselves in our lives. That is one state which I call it the perfect freedom. Nothing is perfect in this world, but I still call it. So one person, if he or she is able to reach that stage and enjoy and live in that particular moment, is where the true joy begins. And then sky is the limit. So your past makes you, and you turn into your present, and then you look forward in the future. For women particularly, financial freedom, I would say, is imperative. It gives them power to decide about themselves. Take decision as a human being. See themselves as to what they personally want to be seen in this world. Not just a mother, not just a wife, not just as a daughter, but as a human being. Their own dignity and their own, as a person, how they want to see themselves in this world, and how they are contributing and adding value to the society. That is the joy that I'm talking about in this book.
That's a beautiful concept of joy. And with this, I want to ask another question, which I see myself every day. I saw women in stress. They have stress of various types, and most of the stress is coming from the spouse or the in-laws. And what you suggest, like how to handle this stress, because this stress is killing them inside every day, slowing down their capacity to grow and lead.
I just recall one of my teacher's messages that normally in every class, she's in every session she is giving me, and when I'm not able to perform and not move forward, she usually tells me regression is basically the way forward. So this is a part of the process. You regress, but then you bounce back and you are going forward. So stress can be positive and stress can be negative. For example, stress of an ambition to achieve an aim is positive. But there are many negative stress which are created by ourselves sometimes and by people around us. It is all about focus. So it depends on us what we want to focus on. We want to focus on the negative sentiment more, or we have the power, inner power to keep those aside and still able to see our aim and objective and keep moving forward. So regression is not something that you give up. It is again the part of the same process in which you take one step back, but then you are able to move 2 steps forward.
My question is that you got a qualification, you got a good job, you are connected, everyone knows you in the town. So what is next? How Asma look her in the near future?
Like I said earlier, it is unfair to put boundaries. So we need to be thinking about ourselves and be fair with ourselves as well. Testing our limits is also not good, in which we become unfair with our health, with the people who are around us. But then putting limits for ourselves, putting boundaries and saying, okay, this is what I have done and now nothing forward, that is also not fair. So the profession that I belong to is a very vibrant profession, I would say. Plus the changing world around, it's already bringing a lot of everyday challenges. I see a lot more to learn in this profession and continue and progress and grow further to the next level. I have particularly been working with in the planning and budgeting for about 20 years, and I have been working alongside business CEOs, and this is something that really admires me. Approach with which they look at the future is really impressive. So while remaining in finance, I would like to aspire to become a CEO someday of a venture, whether it is my personal or it belongs to someone else. And yes, this is how I see myself in my profession, but at the same time, while I spoke about the joy of freedom, basically I have reached a stage where I feel it is important that whatever little I have learned, I should pass it on. This is our not just something that we should do on a voluntary basis. This is our responsibility. If I have learned something nice, I should pass it on, I should share, and I should become some kind of an inspiration for others who are trying to figure out their way in the darkness. If I have a contact who can help someone, I should definitely refer and bring those people who are less privileged to those channels whereby they can get ready help. Because I had been struggling in the past to figure out help, support, direction, and miraculously I found people who actually helped me. I want to become somebody like them and give back to the society by contributing similar thoughts and values and actions. So this is how I see myself going forward.
That's very inspiring, and whenever I see you, I see a future leader, and of course you have full capability to convert yourself from a CFO to a CEO as your profession. And with this, I want to thank you to join us for this session, and I believe that the girls like Asma are the true leaders, and they are very inspiring, and their life stories, their efforts, their achievements are really, really exemplary, and all the women out there should study more about them and read this book, which has 36 women's story, including Asma. All stories are really exciting, and they will give you an ample knowledge in few words, which actually you acquire in years of your life. So Asma, what is your message for our audience today?
My message remains the same. Again, it's the courage to continue that counts. So have the courage, move forward, keep moving, never stop, keep dreaming and keep achieving your dreams. Thank you.